Hi, this is your girl, Anae. I'm from the Bronx, New York, and I'm off the block with Urban View.
What's going on, everybody? This is Josh Bryant for Urban View, and we're off the block again. And this one is for my R&B lovers. I'm here with the Bronx's own, the one and only, Anae. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. You got me literally outside in the Bronx. It's drizzling a little bit.
Yes.
But you know, like New Edition says, can you stand the rain? We're still outside. We're still working.
Yes,
so
as we should.
Definitely. And I appreciate you for coming on and even wanting to share your story. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. You ready to rock?
Yes.
All right. So the first question, how has your block or neighborhood shaped the best of you, not only as a person, but also as an artist?
I think growing up in the Bronx taught me a lot about being intentional and very aware of my surroundings as well. I didn't grow up in a super rough part of the Bronx, but I think it did teach me a lot about, embodying grit within all of my softness. So I love that, I just love that I had this to grow up around. Yeah.
That's what's up. You got to have that balance. You got to have the grit with the softness as well. And we can definitely feel that in your music. And now moving on to the next question. How do you represent the sound of your neighborhood through your music and your style?
I think a big part of New York culture, hip hop culture, is streetwear, and I think that is a big part of my image as an artist, and I think people can see that. And when it comes to my sound, I think the grit again. It's just not all dreamy. There's also like a lot of grit to my production and my stylistic choices.
That's what's up. And quick break for a second. Can you talk about the fit? Because in New York, you got it repping, and I see the fit is going crazy. Can you just break down the fit for us real quick?
So this is a makeshift top that I made like an hour ago. This is made out of a beaded curtain. And then this is my dad's suit, actually, that I found in his closet. And then these are my Timbs, of course, a New York staple. And yeah, that's it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And also, too, I know you have the Bronx roots, but some people might not know you have the Caribbean roots as well. So how has that impacted not only you as a person, but also your music as well?
Both of my parents are from Jamaica, so I think that I gravitate towards a lot of like reggae production and things of that nature. So in songs like Vexed, you'll hear it a lot. I sampled a Shaggy record on my last project, Revenge Tour. And yeah, I embrace my Caribbean roots everywhere I go. I represent Jamaica. Yeah, 100%.
Salute to Jamaica.
Yes.
And moving on, we will be talking about Revenge Tour, but right now I gotta talk about your voice just outside of your sound, because I know, again, you talk about the grit in the Bronx. It's important to have grit.
Yeah.
But I think overall your sound is very graceful, sensual, and dreamy.
Thank you.
With what you bring to R&B. So when did you realize your voice was special, and what has the journey been like in crafting your gift into a sound that's unique and stands out?
I don't think I've had one specific moment where I thought that my voice was special. I think my journey has been a lot about learning and unlearning certain parts of my voice. And I think like the dreaminess and the sensuality comes from me just leaning into what I have rather than like trying to mold it for what I think people want to hear from me. So yeah.
I love it. And speaking of your music, when someone presses play to hear any of your music for the first time, what do you want them to walk away with?
I think in my music, I like to address the parts of us that we don't like to talk about. So I want people to feel heard and seen, especially regarding the parts of themselves that they don't show. Yeah.
Got you. And you talk about being seen and showing the parts that maybe aren't being shown. You've been releasing music since 2023, but last year you already talked about it a little bit earlier, Revenge Tour, your best work to date in my opinion.
Thank you.
And honestly, a lot of people, they see Revenge Tour and they think automatically it's about anger and retaliation. But you turn that energy into something else.
Yeah.
You turn it into something that is representative of self-love, healing, and reflection, and just evolution overall. So what inspired you to really reclaim that energy with that project?
I think what I was going through at the time, I was having a really hard time letting go of something, and that project really helped me come out of it. I think when we go through hard moments in our lives, it's very easy to, want to retaliate and be angry. But the lesson that I learned in that journey that I was going through was that I just have to let God handle it. And I think I've been in so many situations in my life where I've had that like realization. So I thought, yeah, making Revenge Tour was just like super freeing for me because I got to like really see myself alchemize my pain in real time. So yeah.
And again, literally, when you hear the project and everything that you were doing, I feel like it was a really cohesive story where, again, you were talking about how past relationships maybe weren't the best, but how through that you found yourself, the self-love, how you were able to grow and evolve, and how you were able to move on to the next steps as well, which we're going to be talking about because you do have some new music. But speaking of Revenge Tour, there is one of the standout songs. Obviously, Vexed is one of my favorites. It's off there. The Kim K track is dope as well.
Thank you.
But W.A.Y.S, Wash All Your Sins. That's the track that went crazy across social media. It was in sort of a way an introduction to you for a lot of people online. When you were creating that song, did you think it would be as impactful as it became? And why do you think people connect with it on such a deep level?
I think creating the song was a very out of body experience for me. So I did know it was something special when I wrote it, for sure. I think people connect with it because it explores like wanting something so bad and like reality kind of slapping you in the face, like, and I think that hasn't really been spoken about a lot in music. I did write it in regards to a relationship, but I think that people can connect with it on a really universal level because there's so many experiences that we have where we're excited about something and we have like such high hopes for something, and then reality kind of just like, so.
Definitely. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And then seeing the bar for bar performance, again, the studio version is incredible.
Thank you.
But the bar for bar with the strings and the real instruments, it took it to a whole new level. And again, I'm excited to see what you do next.
Thank you.
And with Revenge Tour almost coming to an end soon and a start of a new season approaching, how are you looking to reset the table and bring fans on a whole new journey, starting with your brand new single, Friend of Mine?
I think right now the era that I would title this era Aftercare, coming down from like a really emotionally distressed period of time. I feel like right now I'm in a very peaceful state of mind. I feel almost how I did in high school, kind of reckless, just out on the town. I'm single, feeling very liberated, and I think Friend of Mine is such a good representation of that because it's like about a bond where we know the consequences, but we're still pursuing it, It's something that's like a little testy. And so I'm just excited for like the fans to see that side of me because I think Revenge Tour was such a heavy time. So yeah.
Okay. And then, speaking of naming your next chapters, right? As the author of your own story, what would the title be of your next chapter and why should fans be excited?
I would call the next chapter Aftercare for sure. And I think fans should be excited because I think they haven't seen this side of me before. I think most of my music since Praying has been very emotionally heavy. And I think that right now it's time to step into something fun. Summer's about to come. So, yeah.
Again, I'm excited for the new music. I know the fans are excited for the new music as well. And again, even with Friend of Mine, can we be expecting any new projects soon on the way sometime this year? Any exclusives or no?
Maybe not a project this year, but definitely more music. Definitely more singles, definitely more visuals. Yeah.
Got you. Because that's another thing too. If y'all don't do anything else, tap in with the visuals. They are next level. They're super creative, and a lot of work goes in it as well.
Yes.
And that's another thing I want to ask you, right? When it comes to just being an independent artist nowadays, I've seen all the videos so far. You and your team, you're doing the legwork. You're outside. You're trying to make these visuals from the ground up. How important is it to build on your own and have people connect with who you are authentically?
I think it's very important as an artist to be involved in every aspect of your career, and that's something I've always taken a lot of pride in. So I enjoy directing my own videos and like having these ideas and watching them come to life. So I think it's been a really beautiful experience. The team is ever changing right now. I am just up and coming, but the people that I have worked with along the way since Praying have been like extremely crucial to the process. So I'm grateful for all of that. And my manager's here behind the camera. I'm grateful for her too, because she's been with me every step of the way. So yeah.
You love to hear it. And shout out to Danny as well. Shout out to Danny for putting this together. But those are all the questions. And before you get out of here, is there any final words you want to say to the fans? Anything that you want to let them know? Anything that's upcoming?
Yes, I do want to let you guys know that my single Friend of Mine is out now on all platforms. So I hope you guys like it. And thank you so much for having me, Josh.
Anytime.
Hi guys, it's your girl Anae. I just wrapped up my interview off the block with Urban View. You guys can follow me on all socials at Fairly Odd Anae. And I just want to say thank you to all my supporters for streaming, and make sure y'all stream Friend of Mine.